Hey guys, so in today's video I'll be installing steering wheel controls for this unit for my 06 Xtrail. I recently installed this doubled-in Android unit. My car, however, does not have steering wheel controls. It's an 06, but it didn't come with them. So anyways, I bought this steering wheel control that's wireless. That you can place in your cup holder and stuff. I'll show you what it looks like. And so I'll be using that to control it because mine's a touchscreen, so there's no physical button to turn the volume up and down, which I don't always like. So anyways, I'll be installing that today. So let me show you what that unit looks like. So this is the unit itself here, as you can see. So it's got the rotary, of course, for volume up and down. And it's got 4 other buttons here that I'll program for track forward, back, home, whichever. And it also has this middle one here that will click down. So obviously the biggest one is the volume up and down, and then I'll see how I want to set up for track back and forward and whatnot, and what this one will do. Maybe I'll set this one for my navigation, or anyways, one of those. As I said before, it does sit in your cup holder, so this will be sitting in my cup holder. What you can also do is remove this, and then you can use some double-sided tape to place it anywhere you want. It is kind of big. It's not that small, but since this is in your cup holder, it's nice. And again, it is wireless, so it does use one battery, CR2032, that you can put on it. But anyways, let me get the radio out, and we'll get the install started. So as I mentioned before, here's the unit you can remove from the cup holder itself. It does include a couple screws if you want to screw it down to in place, which I'm not going to. And of course, there you can access the back for the battery, which again is a CR2032. So hopefully that battery lasts for a little while. Anyways, it also includes the little box that communicates to the unit, and the 3-wire harness. So this includes the 3 wires, which is orange, which goes directly to the wire level key on the harness for the radio. Black, which is your ground. And then the red, which is your power supply. So that'll be using the red on the harness, which only turns on when the car is on. And that's all you need. So anyways, now we need to get access to the back of the radio. So I'll remove my radio cover here. We'll get to the back and we'll start the install. Alright, now we got access to the back of my radio here. Yours may look different, but for this Seicane unit, I'll be using key 1 on the harness, so low key that one. So for me, it'll be this one here, this brown wire, which I'll pull out here 2 seconds. So that's the wire I'll be using, and of course we'll be using red on the harness. So this one here, which will power the unit. And for my ground, I'll be going to the back over here. I'm not sure if you can see that. Those will be grounding it too, so it'll be direct ground metal. So anyways, let me start splicing those up and we'll continue on. Alright, so I've done the wiring here, and I'll show you. So there's my key wire going straight to the radio harness on key 1. Then I have my red going to the radio harness as well for power. And then on my ground, I've gone and placed a ring terminal, as I'll be using the little bolt at the back for my ground. And of course, the controller box is sitting right there. I'll probably just double-sided tape it to this bottom here. It should sit right there, so it should give me a good wrench to where my cup holder is for a better signal. So it's everything. So depending on the radio that you have, those are the wires you'll be using. This is straightforward, 3 wires, and you're done. So anyways, let me put my ground. Let me start putting my radio back in, and before I finish everything off, we'll test it out. And don't forget to always disconnect your battery before you do any of this work, before you begin anything. Anyways, let me do that and we'll come back. Alright, so I've put my radio back, clean up all my wiring and whatnot. That's where the control box will be sitting. I already reconnected my hazard light switch and the rear defroster. I'm just gonna do the 4x4 on this other side, but before I plug the battery back in, I'll plug that in and kind of just put my dash back in without pressing it all back just in case I have any issues, and then we can test it out and program it. Alright, I've got my battery plugged back in, all my switches are plugged, so now we'll program it. So you can take this one right off the cup holder if you want, so which I did here. So anyways, we're gonna go program it. So for this one, depending on the unit you have, you need to find out where you can program these units here. So for mine, it's under car setting. And then I'm gonna scroll down to steering wheel learning. As you can see here, I already done mine. I tested it before I finished everything off. You see the green highlights here, per se, those are the ones that I have programmed. So this is where you can program it. So to do this one, for example, we're gonna hit begin learn, and then it'll say press any key. So as you see everything, there's nothing highlighted now. So we're gonna start by pressing, let's say, volume down. It'll ask you to select the key for it. So I know it's gonna be volume down, which is counterclockwise. So when I hit this one, and now it knows that that's volume down. Then I'll do volume up. It'll ask me to select the learning key, volume up. Then I will do for mine, I'm gonna set it this way, so this will be track forward. It asks me which one it is, so that'll be track forward. Then I will do track back, and that'll be the next one. I'm going to do this one for power on and power off. And again, you can do different buttons for whichever you want. So I'll be setting mine this way. You can set yours this way, or whichever way you want. Then I will do navigation. So I'll hit the middle one. I'll do my GPS. And then this one I will do mute for now. But as you can see, this one has radio mode, DVD, audio, speaker, or what's this one called, forward or back, and pick up and hang up. So you can do this for once, depends on how you want to set it up. So now that I've done all of mine, I hit again to end learn, and it should be done. So now we'll close this up and we'll test it out. So you can see that there's no volume. So if I do volume up, there's my volume going up, volume down, volume going down. We said this one was my power off, so this is going to shut it off, turn it back on. We said this was navigation, and there you go. It'll put up my Google Maps. Just close this out. We'll make sure the volume's all the way down. I'll go to my radio just to make sure I don't get any copyright issues. We said this was track forward, so we're gonna go to the next station. If you're playing your music, of course, it'll go to the next song. So you can see this green one means is the station that's currently on, so it'll go next one. It'll go back, so you can see that one's working just fine. And then what did we say this one was? This was my mute. There you go. So there's 0 and there's mute. So I was at 0 anyways, so it'll scroll between back and forth. So anyways, that's how you install it, and that's how you program it. Now that I know it's working, I may use some double-sided tape and place one here, although it's kind of big. But the nice thing again is because it comes with the cup holder, I will just for the time being, until I find a place that I want to have it on, I'll be placing the cup holder. Mine is on the left hand side up here of the steering wheel on this Nissan Xtrail. So it depends where your cup holder is at, that's where you want to place it. But anyways, that's how you install some steering wheel controls on this Nissan Xtrail. Mine didn't come with the steering wheels controls on the steering wheel anyways, so this is a good replacement for it, or a good way to install one. You can also get the ones that actually mount to the steering wheel wirelessly as well, and then use it there, but I wanted to go with this one instead. So I'll post in the description down below the model for this one and the link where you can get it at. From what I read, this one will work on any in these Android radios. I'm not sure if they will work on anything like a Kenwood or Pioneer or anything like that, you could try, but I'm not sure about those. But anyways, that's how you install the wiring or steering wheel controls on Nissan Xtrail. I'll put the description for this radio as well if you're interested in that one. Anyways, thanks for watching. Any comments, questions, let me know.